What is going on, guys? Good afternoon. It's your favorite mortgage lender, Abdel Kouatmi, Got Mortgages. We're going to cover again this week in regards to a quick market update. First off, happy 4th of July week. I want to kind of dive in really extensively what is currently going on when we talk about the interest rate market. A lot of different transitions that we have going in as we head into a little bit of a short week, but a jam-packed data-filled week. So taking a step back, we're going to dive in extensively what currently happened last week and what's the expectations this week, okay? So we saw last week a little bit of a downshift when we looked at the PCE report, personal consumption expenditure report. Inflation started to cool consistently. So we saw reductions in the CPI report, consumer price index, the producer price index, and now once again, the PCE report came in low. But why are interest rates still remaining sticky? We're going to dive into that shortly. We did see a little bit of downshift that's been catching a little bit of the media attention in regards to new home sales. New home sales for the first time in about 4.5 years have actually shown a little bit of a reduction, which is normally a little anticipated. People are having a little bit of a holdback in regards to what their expectations is with the elections later on in the next 4 months. So we'll kind of see some of that transition as that impacts some buyers really, and also most importantly, some sellers in regards to putting their houses on the market. We saw a little bit of pending home sales start to continue to drop as well. Home prices once again continue to skyrocket at record highs. We are consistently seeing values start to consistently go up. And we've seen that over the last few years. I believe we're at around the 6.5% appreciation, which we'll dive into further. First quarter, once again, is still remaining slightly higher than initially reported. We're talking about specifically when we talk about the GDP report and the economy. Initial jobless claims, once again, continue to decline but remain elevated. But the biggest thing is continuing jobless claims. Those consumers who have a hard time finding a job after they have been let go, we know the quit rate is at the lowest it's been, but those who get let go are having a very difficult time, once again, finding employment once time is due. Now, when we talked about the PCE report, once again, PCE declined from 2.8 to 2.6. What that means is consumer spending on certain aspects are starting to continuously decrease. We know that the Federal Reserve hiked their interest rates from March of 2022 until about a year ago, July of 2023. We saw consistent hikes. That was really designed to reduce the slowdown. That's exactly what we're seeing, right? Taking a deeper dive, we see that the, once again, decline from the PCE, personal consumption expenditure report, has declined to, again, more or less at a little bit of a low at that 2.6%. Again, the progress is slowly getting there. We're not going to hit that 2% mark, but we are making positive progress to it, okay? So now when we look at new home sales, again, despite that positive setback with new available home inventory, we're still seeing, again, that the supply is starting to slowly appreciate, but of course not at the level that we consistently want it to hit. Now, we are seeing when we looked at the new home sales, taking a look at this, again, a little bit of a reduction from month over month and year over year at around 16.5%, but we are seeing a little bit of an increase in regards to new home sale with month of supplies creeping just over 9.3 months. Pending home sales, once again, we're seeing a little bit of a reduction of that 2.1% from April to May. But again, sales did also simultaneously slow down at around 6.6%, a little bit lower than what we saw last year. Now, pending home sales, once again, we're seeing it's starting to really stabilize. We're starting to see interest rates slowly start to trickle down, which is obviously having a little bit of an impact when we talk about the interest rate and mortgage market. As you see here, pending home sales is a little bit of reduction over the last few months. In 2021, of course, we saw 11.15, which was at the height of COVID. 2022, a little bit of reduction to this thing, once again, showing a little bit of that higher interest rates start to really hit some of our homeowners of what we're looking for. Now, the biggest part is when we talk about home appreciation. We're seeing consistently still home prices appreciating. We're at a 6.3% year over year, meaning if you purchased a property roughly around for $500,000 just a year ago, it's easily appreciated at this current market at around 530, 540 of what you can possibly gain for. Once again, the FHFA, which also does not monitor cash and jumbo loans, also simultaneously saw a little bit of an increase at that 6.3%. So kind of seeing here, once again, January 0.4%, February 0.5%, and then again, we saw a little bit of an increase in March and April of that appreciation. Now, when we talked about the GDP report, gross domestic product, although we saw that it was at a 1.4%, really previously they were at a 1.3%, but revising it, showing that it's still consistently well below that growth of 3.4%, which again is signs of indication the market is having a little bit of a stagnation. Interest rates are obviously playing a major toll with a lot of consumers. When we take a look at some of the interest rate markets that it's affecting it, this is slowly starting to play a toll when we talk about consumer spending and obviously to slow down the economy. Is this the stuff that we need to see in order for the Fed to simultaneously start to potentially look to consistently cut their interest rates of what we really wanted to? Initial jobless claims, but this is the important part. Continuing jobless claims increased by 18,000. Almost 2 million jobs, or 2 million claims, I should say, are being reported consistently. Really, every single week, I feel like there's a slight increase when we talk about continuing jobless claims. Consumers are having a hard time finding a job thereafter. We know that the two biggest mandates, guys, and I know I sound like a broken record, but it's going to be inflation and employment. Inflation, we know, is going down. We know continuing jobless claims, unemployment claims are going up. And we also know that less jobs are being created. This week is going to be employment data filled week. As it normally is, every single month, we'll get 1 week of employment data that is 12 months lagged. We're going to see tomorrow, we're going to get the JOLT report, job opening and labor turnovers. That was a big impact to the market just a month ago. And we're going to really take a look at that, because if we take a look at where interest rates were about a month ago, we're kind of turning a little bit in the wrong direction, which was a little bit expected. But if we see where we're about a month ago, you guys can kind of see we started seeing that sharp decline. Let me actually go back a little bit to 515 to paint an even clearer picture. And you guys can kind of see we went to almost as high as 7.3, which was really the projection. Usually right before the employment data, interest rates will start to skyrocket. And then as you guys can see, we saw that big downshift to just shy of 7% at one point, or under 7%. And then we're slowly starting to go back to that trend of going up. And now we're going to slowly, in my opinion, if we start seeing some healthy employment data, we'll consistently start seeing a little bit of a decline simultaneously as well, which should be a little bit of a positive impact. Again, it is the summertime. We know that during the summertime, generally, buyer demand is up there. Guys, we are dealing with a lot of different consumers that are offering well over asking in many properties. Affordability is still out there. We're still running into a little bit of concerns when we have some clients qualifying. So that is going to be a major factor in regards to that. Wednesday, we're going to get private payrolls. So again, we're always monitoring how many new jobs are being created, but we're also going to be monitoring, again, private payroll. And then Friday's the big day, right? After 4th of July is going to be the BLS report, Bureau of Labor Statistics. Just around last month, I should say, and even last year, this report, for some reason, always more or less contradicts everything of what we get. So although we're starting to catch on, there's always revisions when we take a look at some of these jobless claims and some of these new jobs that are being created. This is definitely a big data point that we really want to monitor and make sure truly that the people who are out there who are having a hard time finding a job, there's just a multitude of people that this data report that keeps coming out just needs to eventually turn, right? And that is going to be something that we're going to consistently monitor, okay? And then, again, the importance of looking at the employment data market and the inflation market is going to be the main impact in regards to the Federal Reserve looking to change their stance, okay? So as you guys can see, really within the last month and a half, we've been kind of going a little bit on that downward trend. Then recently, over the last few days, we saw a little bit of unhealthy data when we looked at some of the potential employment data claims that we're going to see. So I'll keep you guys updated, as always, as we continue monitoring that trend. And hopefully we'll have some better news later on heading into next week with Monday market updates. And then most importantly, what the expectation is as we head to potentially another federal rate cut. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a blessed day. Catch you guys next time.